Yesterday we have seen chapter, the name of topic, excretory system, and also we have discussed what is this rough diagram, simple sketches I have drawn here. This is human excretory system, you may see, and the level of different organs and the part of excretory system is to be done by you. And I also tend to want to tell you this: whenever you are just studying the excretory system, certain things to be you remember just. Okay, I'm just revisiting the concept yesterday I taught. Excretion to eliminate the toxic materials. Okay, what I am telling you this: in multicellular organisms like human, a well developed excretory system is found here. You just understand it is okay. And components of excretory system: one pair, ureter, urinary bladder, and kidney is there. Okay, so the physiology and the anatomy of the excretory system, if we will see, then it just found here one pair of kidney, one urethra, and one pair of ureter, and the collecting filtrate collecting and filtrate collecting tissue, and the back sac like structure is called ureter. This is urinary bladder, and further urinary bladder, and there is some contractile tissues is found here. This is that in this portion. This is have the small opening, can enlarge and expand and contract. This is called sphincter muscles. The sphincter muscles is actually have the motion, means it can open and can means the expansions of in tissues can take place here. This is called sphincter muscles. Okay, it can control the opening of the hole and opening of the passage. Okay, the urine passes through this opening from the urinary bladder to urethra. Right now, so we'll see the detailed anatomy of the urinary system and how does actually this works here. So we simply can understand here this. See guys, so we are just discussing here the concept of urinary system and how the urinary system actually works here right now. So first we'll see the anatomy of urinary system and what the functioning happens here. Is that clear, guys? So you may see what is exactly happening. So yesterday what we have seen here, is that clear?
The structures of the urinary system function to filter blood and remove waste from the body. The kidneys are the blood filtering organs. Blood enters the kidneys through.
You may. So this is the one kidney here. Okay, inside the kidney, the structure you may see, the whitest part you may see, yellowish part, and the oval shaped part, the semi-oval shaped part you may see. This is called. This is Bowman capsule is called part. This is okay, and millions of cells together are embedded inside it. Millions of cells, 1.5 million nephrons are found here in this. This is called excretory unit. Is that clear? And how the urine forms inside the kidney, you will see this
through the renal arteries. Within the kidneys, substances are filtered out of the blood into urinary structures. Some substances are then reabsorbed back into the blood, and others are secreted into the urine. This three-step process cleans blood.
Yes, you may say this is the structure you are saying Bowman capsule. The blob-like pinkish structure you are watching here. This is Bowman capsule. Inside this a coiled, highly coiled structure you are finding here. This is a unit I am explaining here. Is that clear? And one vessel is carrying the blood inside this, and the other is bringing back. Afferent and afferent arterioles are there. Is that clear,
and
guys?
Creates the waste product urine. Urine exits the kidneys and moves down.
Yes, and what the filtrate means after the filter, what the residual, what the excretory part, what the means toxic materials after the process of excretions, what will get filtrate. This is collected in the through the delivery tubes. What is them? This is called the collecting duct. Through this collecting duct, it just comes into the Bowman spaces, and further this into the collecting duct, and collecting duct further transfer this urine to the urinary bladder, and means drop by drop this urine collects in the urinary bladder. Is that
on the
clear?
ureters to the bladder.
Happening.
As the bladder fills, interactions with the brain and nerves contract and relax muscular structures, and urine is pushed out through the urethra in a process called micturition.
The functioning of the urinary bladder is it has the ability to contract and expand. When the contractions takes place here, it is actually controlled by the brain. Brain actually controls the contractions of the urinary bladder. When it contracts, the urine starts coming out of that through urethra, and it is the sometimes slightly volunteer action. So one can control the outgoings and coming out of the urine or not. Is that clear, guys? But before that, we just have to understand here the urine formation. Actually, how the urine formation? So you would have seen here the urine forms in excretory units called the nephron cells. So what exactly happens inside the
Each kidney includes over 1 million blood filtering units called nephrons. Blood enters the nephron through a capillary bed called a glomerulus. It is surrounded by a cup-like structure, the glomerular capsule.
This is called glomerulus capsule. It's a glomerulus capsule. Is that clear? So in the glomerulus space, the spaces also you may see here inside this, okay? And how the blood is actually, the process of osmosis is taking place here. We simply can speak here the diffusions. That's I told you in the 9th class, diffusion and osmosis have its great importance in the biochemical processes. So blood is coming through the vessels, and that's called renal arteries, and further divides into the fine structures. Right now, fine tubular structures, right? And through these tubular structures, the blood gets flow slowly with a definite pressure here, okay? And the pressure outside these tubules and the inside this is different here. So that's where the material which we are calling the toxic material, this come through the membrane, is called the osmosis through selectively permeable membranes, okay? And same happens if sometimes the materials more is diffused in transport. Is that clear? Right now, so these materials is actually to be transport from the membrane here. Is that clear? So this is called so you just have understand here the process of osmosis and diffusions. Is that clear?
Which is the beginning of the duct called the renal tubule. As blood flows through the glomerulus, blood pressure forces it against a specialized layer of cells that surrounds the capillaries. The layer of cells blocks blood cells and proteins, but lets waste and water pass through the glomerulus and into the glomerular capsule. The filtrate then flows into the proximal convoluted tubule. This process is called glomerular filtration. It is the first step in urine formation.
Is that clear? And what happens further? Sometimes more materials. Actually, the materials which are sometimes essential means by the malfunctionings of or we can say during the process, more materials actually gets filtrated here. So the material which are essential, there's some minerals are, some ions are here, some water amount is also there, some metals are there, some ions are there, okay, which get filtrated through the process of the urine formation. It's a level 1 and phase 1, okay. And in the phase 1, the filtrate which is had got filtrate through the process by the nephronic structure and the from the glomerulus, the further it reabsorb into the blood again to maintain the what we can say, to maintain the concentrations of these materials in the blood and outside there. So this is called a counter current mechanism that you will you shall study in the detail. What some more detail could be there. So simply this is called counter current mechanism. So what the counter current mechanisms means, it's controlled by your body, means more ions, more water you cannot lose. If you will drink less water, less you will go to urinal, okay. And if you will drink more water, more urine you will feel. Is that clear? More urinal discharge you will suffer. Is that clear? So the second level, second phase, what exactly happens after the filtrate in the formation of urine, you will see this.
Glomerular filtration produces a plasma-like filtrate containing waste, but also water and other substances the body needs. As the filtrate passes out of the glomerular capsule and through the renal tubule, substances like water, essential ions, glucose, amino acids, and proteins are reabsorbed into the body through cells along the tube wall. At the same time, additional waste ions and hydrogen ions still in the blood pass from capillaries into.
Yes, what is happening? Through the membranous communication, okay? The substances are going into that another, okay?
The renal tubule. This process is called secretion. This process of reabsorbing water and nutrients and secreting additional waste creates urine. The urine passes out of the kidney, through the renal pelvis and ureters, and into the bladder.
So, well understood you, the system, how does this work actually? Is that clear, right? So, you just have seen here the different process and the formations of that, what I told you this. Clear? So, urine formation takes place in the very well manner here. You just have seen here this. And how does nephron works here? So, you also have seen, if you want to draw the structure of nephron, so then how we will draw the structure of nephron? Nephron can be drawn in the very easy way. I am telling this, the nephron how actually does this work here, okay. So I am drawing the nephronic structure that's come here. It's quite complex, this is appearing, okay. This is a unit, excretory unit, Okay, so you may see different parts are there. So I'm telling average student drawing here, is that way, that will help you to so you just have to draw in this manner. I'm telling this the drawing that. Okay, so first you have to draw a C. Okay, and here you have to make a rangoli. Is that clear? So it's called that C rangoli, and here you have to make U. Is that clear? And again you have to make a rangoli. Is that clear? And you just have to draw here I. Is that clear? So we can understand here as C rangoli, U rangoli, I. You just can't remember here. Okay, and just have to give the outer membrane. Okay, outer side is to be there. So before giving this, you just must remember one thing, that you have to give up to here, and from here you have to leave the opening. Is that clear? You may say this is. It's the glomerulus space you are just making here. This okay, and this is to join with this. And a fluently tubular structure is to be drawn freely. Tubular structure, and everybody know that tubular structure how is to be drawn. Is that clear? Let this is the tubular structure is before you, and this is to be joined in the manner here. This okay, and further is to be joined also in this. Let this is clear, guys. Yeah, and further is to be joined here. Let. This is very simple way to draw. Right now, this is further the other nephron will combine here from this. Okay, let this is the different can be there. Okay, this is a collecting duct. So you have drawn here a nephronic structure. Okay, an average student can draw in this manner. So you may see the different parts of the nephron structure. You may see this is called the loop of Henle. The reason is called, this is tubular actually. The fine more slightly thin is to make here this. This is called loop of Henle. Loop of Henle. It's a Henle, and this is what color? Glomerulus. This is glomerulus. Space also glomerulus. And this portion is called PCT, and this is called DCT. It is called proximal convoluted tubule. Proximal convoluted tubule is proximal convoluted tubules. This is loop of Henle. This portion is, and this is called distal convoluted tubule. Distal convoluted tubule, and this is your collecting duct. Okay, and loop of Henle here. So the different regions of this, and the one vessels carry the blood from inside this. Okay, and the other carry back the blood here, and here its coiled structure is found here in this. You may see this coiled structure is found inside this here, and this go out just here. It's called afferent arteriole and afferent arteriole. Means one arteries brings the blood here, and the other carry the blood here after being detoxified. Is that clear? And the toxic materials are removed from that. So one afferent and afferent. Afferent and afferent. Afferent arteriole and afferent arteriole. Is that clear? This is a branch of renal arteries. You will remember here. So further it divided into this. Okay. So you just see here the different levels are here. You may see it is the different level. This is the at the different points of the, and also the further if you'll see here the different arteries are and vessels are actually embedded inside this here. Different arteries all surrounding here. This different arteries and vessels are here actually for the reabsorbment here. The reabsorbs takes place here. So I would say you do not need to draw here the arteries and veins which are embedding on the nephronic structure. Is that clear? So this is a very simple way to draw a nephron. Is that clear? An average student easily can draw here. So you will remember here again C rangoli, U rangoli, I, and this is to make the double line of that. You will here obtain a urinary excretory unit called nephron. The nephron is before you. Is that clear? So I tell you how to draw the nephron structure. Is that clear? The nephron is before you. Okay, guys. Now see furthermore. So what is the working of this the nephron structure. This region you may see, this is what is working at this glomerulus capsule is called the Bowman capsule. We can speak the complete assembly, and inside the glomerulus space is found right now. So what happens inside this? Actually, the blood enter into this space, okay, and get filtered from this. This is filter unit as we call. And renal tubules you may see, and further where this renal capsules and the blood here you may see this portion is tubular structure. This portion is tubular structure. It's a thin tubular structure you may see. So you see here this water, okay. You may look here. What is happening here? Water, solute, filtrate, variable, reabsorption, secretions is here. So thin descending limbs is there, and ascending limbs is here. Means at different parts of the nephrons, different absorptions, different types of absorptions takes place here. Clear? So well understood you. Further reabsorption, the loop of Henle, further reabsorption of water descending. As in the filtration, if the more water is get filtered right now, so it is just just need to go back into the blood. So this process is called reabsorptions, and the same happens with the sodium and chloride ions, as I told you this ions also. Clear guys? So if means there is certain sized molecules that can pass through the membrane of this, that's we are calling the osmosis. This process takes place SPM here, okay. Many times I explain here this process, okay. So osmosis is actually happening here this. So sometimes this phenomena is said to also be in osmoregulation in the other organisms. That while I will tell you this osmoregulations means the pressure is to be maintained between the 2 points inside and outside the tissue here. Clear? This is called. So you may see here a physical phenomena is happening here, right? How this is happening? This is a physical phenomena. Pressure and the concentrations of the minerals, metals, minerals and the molecules is actually maintaining the process. Collecting duct is variable reabsorptions of water, reabsorption of secretion, potassium, hydrogen and bicarbonates. Actually this is also surrounded by that. Papillary ducts, delivery of urine to minor calyx, okay, and here no absorption takes place here. So you may see one by one we'll write and define the structure. So you will write the structure of means you will explain the structure of a nephron, what actually does do the each part of that. Clear guys? Understand you? And along with this we'll just have to discuss here some more concept. The kidney, if you are seeing here this, it's a continuously 24 hours is filtering the toxic materials from your body. So what will happen if it will do its task? If the kidney will not do the excretions and it will not filter and it will not just take the toxic materials from your blood, then what will happen? Obviously the toxicity in the blood will increase, and obviously the concentration of the blood will change, and the biomolecules, some inorganic materials which are not useful for you will be collected in the blood, and the blood will have its variant flow, means the blood will be flown in the different and abnormal way. The blood will start to flow, and the heart attack will can cause here this. So we can speak here as the functioning of the kidney we have seen here. So the functioning of the kidney is also associated with the functioning of heart. Is that clear? So it's directly connected with this here, right? So what happens when sometimes the excretory unit get failure? So however it's not easy to fail here, but sometimes the people have the means we cannot predict any conditions there. Sometimes the people having the high doses of drugs, sometimes they have the different types of just like alcohol abuse, there is a set addicted of the alcohol here. So a lot of means different types of drugs they take, and the heavy alcohol drinkers are here. So sometimes they get effect over their kidney. So kidney gets failure in these cases here. Then what happens? So can one can alive without kidney? So there is an alternate way. So actually we need to carefully to see carefully here this what the kidney works here to remove the toxic from the blood. So blood is taken outside the body of such patient getting failure the kidney. Blood is getting brought out, and this gets filtered outside the body and back enter into this. So how this machine is working here, we are interested. This is interesting here, and we are interested to know this how this happens here. So this machine is said to be dialysis, because the process happening to filter remove the toxic materials from the blood is said to be dialysis. Is that clear? So how this happens, I am telling the dialysis and what the dialysis is actually causing here. Right now this is called dialysis of that. Okay. So you may see how the dialysis takes place here, and what is the process of dialysis, and all this about the dialysis we'll just know here, the process of dialysis also. Is that clear? Right, guys? So actually we need to understand this clearly. The in the formation of urine creation, you would have seen here this. So blood is taking out from the body, just will bring the blood back. Okay, you may say I'm telling this how this happens, the process of dialysis. Is that clear? The process of dialysis, I'm telling this how this is happening. See on the screen. You may see the anatomy of the excretory system here is before you. You may see this is that here, how the kidney is located right now. From the back side is closer than that. This is the, you may see this is a backbone. Is that clear? Backbone is, you may see, and the anatomy of this, and the front view of the kidney are watching this. Okay, this is, and here the collecting duct is, and you may see this is the opening of that this is urinary bladder. You may see. Is that clear now? It is located here. This is opening of the urinal discharge is before you. Is that clear? So where it is collected located is located the lower abdomen. Well understood, you guys? So simply we can understand here the process of that what I'm telling you this. So we can also under you may see how this is happening actually, what I'm talking about this. Sorry, just go to back here this. Yes, you may see here face of kidney, the left side, the blue one is the renal vein. Okay, and this is the renal arteries. The arteries carrying the blood into the kidney, and it's bringing back here from the blue side. It is, you may see, this is the renal vein. Okay, and here is the blob-like structure, Bowman capsule is there. Okay, guys, and millions of nephrons are there together, and a nephronic structure is shown here before you. This, okay. And the collecting duct is before you. So this is a quite complex diagram here. You not need to draw here. Is that clear? So what is happening here? So blood is actually a kidney is getting failure right now. So obviously the vessels you may see here, the blood is to brought out of the body here. So from the renal vein is coming out of that, and from the renal artery. So we need to connect the out system from the renal arteries. From anywhere else from your body, the blood can be taken out. Is that clear? So how this is done, how this can be done here, if you will see this, this is a filtrate is coming here. So that this structure, you may say highly coiled structure is there. This is created outside the body. Outside the body, it means to that this is here. Sorry, it's a urine. I'm telling this how this happens. Yeah, how this is to create here. Wait a minute, please. This is, yeah, you may see in the picture here this. The blood is taken out from the body of patient and is treated. The yellow part you may see, and this yellow part you just understand here. This is a dialysing solution, tubes made up of the selectively permeable membrane. The blood moves throughout these vessels to their tubular network right now, and thus the blood comes out here. This inside the blood just comes out from this here. Whatever the toxicity, it comes out in the solution. This solution is called dialysing solutions. Is that clear? And what the concentrate rises here, this collected at here in this place. Is that clear, guys? And the blood go back into the blood at the same pressure, go back into the body. So this is called a dialysing machine. It's not easy to do here, but the people who have the severe damage to the kidneys, they are just put on the dialysing machines. Okay, so there is very less chance to save the life of the human if he is getting failure the kidney, provided that he is not kept and he is not put on the machine dialysis. Okay, so there is great need in the dialysing machines everywhere where the people is getting failure the kidneys. This is called artificial kidney. Is that clear? And the process is said to be hemodialysis. So hemodialysis is what? So hemodialysis is, we simply speak here, hemodialysis, there is written several kidney well organs survival, several factors like infection, injured, restricted to blood. Okay, so whatever I told you, just you will write here this, guys. Okay, and along with this we have just completed our the excretion process in the human, and the important points always to be noted by you. Is that clear? Along with this, we just are interested in knowing the plant are also organisms, and do they possess the process of excretion same as an animal, and what we have in the human. So obviously yes, if the biochemical process are taking place, obviously some rearing tearing process taking place, and the reproduction division process taking place here, and the biomolecules synthesizing, splitting, decomposition, composition, different process taking place. Obviously so the raw materials and the excretory materials obviously will form here, and the cell also have their toxic materials, means the dead remains of the cells, means the organelles also die, so the molecules also released here. So these are in excess to be removed from the body sometimes, right now. So this also happens in plant. So does plant possess process of excretion? Its answer is yes, but in the as the well developed excretory system is found in the animal like an human, so it's not found in the plant also. Plant also completely different strategic for excretions. Those who of animal, oxygen itself can be thought of as waste products generated during the photosynthesis. We have discussed earlier how plants deal with oxygen as well as carbon dioxide. They can get rid of excess water by transpiration. For other waste, plants use the fact that many of their tissues consist of dead cells, and that they have even lost some parts of such leaves. Many plants waste products are stored in the cellular vacuoles, as I told you in the 9th class when we have discussed the large vacuolar structures found inside the cell of the plant. So waste product may be stored in the leaves that falls off. Other waste products also stored as, so we can speak here the leaves which are just we are getting so fallen leaves we can say. So they have the some inorganic material inside them. Is that clear? Sometimes some inorganic materials which are useful, not useful for the plant, can be used for the human being. So it is used as the making of the medicine and drugs. Okay. So which products may be stored in the leaves that fall off? The waste product are also stored as resins and gums. So you may understand here the examples of waste product in the plant. So resins and gums. In exam this comes questions, write the 2 waste product from the plant here. So you will write this as, especially in old xylem, plant also excretes some waste substances that is found in soil around them. Is that clear? So along with this, understood here the process of excretions in plant. In the study material, the great details also have been given here. You may just see this. What is it? Okay. So gaseous waste are carbon dioxide. The gaseous waste of plant is carbon dioxide. No, it's oxygen, and in animal it's carbon dioxide. Photosynthesis removed by the process diffusion here. Excess water, this also removed by transpiration. Stored cellular vacuolar leaves which fall off, as the example is before you. Excreted oil is also there here. Clear? So we have completed the chapter all around. We need to solve some questions that generally comes in examination. Describe the structure and functioning of the nephron. So you will draw here, say Rangoli, you Rangoli, I, and describe each part of the nephron one by one. What are the method used by the plant to get rid of excretory products? What method actually used by the plant? Tell please, what method? Diffusion for gas and osmosis for the other here. Is that clear? How is the amount of urine produced regulated? How is the amount of urine produced regulated? So you just have to explain the process of counter current mechanisms. Means, however, you will just not mention exactly what happens, but you just have to explain the concept of the concentrations of the ions, water in the blood is to be maintained here. Okay. So reabsorption process is to be explained here. This is that clear, guys? These 3 questions are your home assignment. You just have to do 3 questions as home assignment. Now look the next question also here. This. So we need to solve here the questions from the beginning of that. We'll later discuss here. Just say this. What is that? What would be the consequence of deficiency of hemoglobin? Now we have discussed already. The last very important question is there. The important question is there. You may see, that is, compare the functioning of alveoli in the lungs and nephron in the kidney. This is an integrated question. Okay, means that the 2 systems. One is a respiratory system and the other is excretory system. A respiratory system is there what we can say alveoli, and here is the So in the alveoli, diffusion takes place here. In the nephron, the process diffusion means solid and waste. Liquid diffusion takes place here. It's called osmosis. So you have to explain osmosis here. You have to explain the diffusion there. Is that clear? And through the membranous, this is happening here right now. And certain pressure also can be given between them. And gaseous and liquid diffusions is there. So you can write the 4 to 5 points of differences between them. Is that clear, guys? And I will solve some questions that will help you to understand this. Select one of the renal vein. What is the renal vein? Where is the renal vein? Tell please. Is this here? Okay, summit. Or the next is select the right or left renal vein. Right is what here? This is right, and left is this here. Now summit. Is that clear? So this is incorrect. Why? Because you are watching the left right into opposite, but vein is artery is asking here. What is asking here? Pelvis is asking. So try again this. Select the right or left renal pelvis. Renal pelvis is asking here. What is the renal pelvis? Tell please. However, these questions are according to the higher studies here, but I am telling you this. So what would be there? This would be there, this would be there, or this would be there. What is the right answer for this here? So you just need to tell me what is the right answer for this. Okay. So I will send you a question of these types here all together, that you will solve one of them here. Right now you will solve these questions and will check will be checked by me. Is that clear, guys? So need to solve here the sum. How is this here? Connected, you may see this is urinary bladder. This is urinary bladder, and this is what common passage of urine for that. And here also you may say this portion is called that. What is called? This is tell please. Yeah, it's a Cooper gland. This is called. This is found in the men. Okay, this is male respiratory system I am representing. Clear? And this is the penis. Right now I shall explain you this in the process of the reproduction. Male reproductive genital organ. This is called reproductive organ, is a part of that. Where the questions are here, my library quizzes.
Buck's fascia.
Sorry. Okay, guys. Right now, so what I told you, this all the things. Right now it's enough for the day.